Traders! Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, it doesn't matter. This is your daily reminder that through your extremely hard work and dedication, you have been anointed with the skill that allows you to pull money out of the market any day. So take your money and go. Cut the You're learning how to trade today. Okay, no confusion, no scary charts to intimidate you. If you are brand new to trading and don't know where to start, this video is for you. I'm covering just about everything and I'm talking to you like you're my sister or brother, okay? By the end of this video, as a complete beginner, you will know what trading simply is, how to set up your TradingView account, and how to place your first paper trade without risking real money, of course, right? I am going to teach you how to play the video game of the markets, okay? Now, this is stuff I usually reserve for my students, but today I'm handing it to you like family because I wish someone had made it this simple when I first started. And to be honest with you, I am not a fan of what is happening in this world right now, and I have a duty. You can call me 22. I am a funded trader and certified quantum healer, and I work with traders to help them unblock, align, and step into their purpose because this isn't just about charts. It's about freedom. Now, if you've ever opened a chart and immediately closed your laptop because it looked like a spaceship dashboard, then you are in the right place. This is Empress Trading Secrets, and my job is to help blast you out of financial survival mode and help you achieve financial freedom so that you can fully live in your purpose. Okay, so grab your snacks, your notebook, and maybe a glass of something bougie because we're about to make this make sense. If you want to pause it, go ahead. I'll be right here waiting for you when you get back. Make sure you're subscribed, and don't subscribe out of pity. Subscribe if you are serious. Subscribe because you are serious about making your own money. You're serious about becoming the main character in your financial life. You are serious about obtaining financial freedom through trading. If that is you, welcome home. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. Let's jump right into it. Now, first, before we head on over to TradingView, we're going to head over to Forest Factory. The link will be down below. This is your economic calendar. This tells you when news events are going to drop. And trust me, these news events move the market like B dropping a surprise album. You do not want to get in a trade before NFP or FOMC just because you didn't check the schedule. All right. Now, if there are red folders, right? And see here, for example, Monday at 8:30, there were red folders. You do not want to be trading. Okay. I would even go so far as to say orange as well. So red folders, orange folders, you're going to stay away, okay? So every day you're going to check the calendar first, and then we will come back and mark our zones in a few minutes. So make sure you check this calendar. I also added a link where you can download your free morning pages. Now, this is part of the Empress and Emperor trading system. We use morning pages to clear the mental clutter before hitting the charts, because if you go to bed stressed about bills, family, relationships, subconsciously you wake up in that same energy. And trust me, that affects everything, especially your trading. One of the well-known and most important factors about trading is your psychology and mindset are actually 75% of the game. I would even go far as to say maybe a little bit more. But to be honest, you should be doing this anyway. It is so freeing. The link is in the description and it's free. All right. You won't find this anywhere else. Next, you are going to head on over to TradingView. Now, I left a special link for you in the description, and that link actually gives you $15 off of a new plan. So if you ever upgrade, it also helps support the channel. So it's a win-win. Okay. You can totally stick with the free version for now if that's where you're at. Okay. So follow the link, open a free account. You do not need to pay for anything just yet. Okay. You are just learning. Some of you are a bit more advanced, and that's fine. Okay. Now, why TradingView? Well, we use TradingView around here because it's the standard for serious traders. TradingView is polished, widely respected, and performs flawlessly under pressure. It really and truly is the gold standard, and every trader knows this. All right, let's dive in. Now, after you click the link, it should bring you here. all right? I want you to go ahead and sign up for your free account. And next, we're going to go into the search bar. All right. Out of all the day trading instruments out there, futures is hands down the most accessible and beginner friendly path. You don't need a huge account. There's no PDT, that's pattern day trading rule, right? Where you need $25,000. Like structured, it respects technicals, and once you learn it, you can trade from anywhere in the world. Now, most people try to learn trading by jumping into stocks or crypto first, okay? Now, I'm here to save you some years and stress, okay? Over here, we start with futures because it's clean, it's clear, and it's powerful. And once you learn how to trade futures, every other asset class starts to make sense, okay? So whether it's options, crypto, forex, or stocks, okay? Futures actually sharpen your understanding of price action, right? Of structure, of entries and exits in real time. And once you've got that foundation, you can adapt those skills anywhere, right? It's kind of like learning to cook with fire before moving on to the air fryer, okay? You master the basics and everything else becomes easier, all right? So in this list, you will find, nice. The first one is actually what we're going to be using. That is the MES. That is the micro S&P 500 futures. This is the big body S&P 500 futures, and those contracts are $50 a point, but we're going to use the micros because, well, you should be. Stay far away from these big bodies, all right? It'll save you so much time and stress. And you'll see here, everything is actually here, right? There's gold futures, there is the NASDAQ. These are the NASDAQ futures, right? Maybe you've heard of those. You have Bitcoin, you have everything here, right? So I want you to come here and play around as well. But for now, we're going to be using the MES. That's going to be your pal. This is your video game. Let's go ahead and launch the chart. Okay. So we're learning on the ES, right? And again, the ticker or symbol for the micros is MES. I teach using the ES because it is the king of structure and respect, okay? And if price action were a language, ES speaks it fluently. Why do I say that, right? Well, because the ES actually moves with the entire market, right? It is based on the S&P 500, right? Which is the top 500 companies in the US. So you're literally trading the heartbeat of the American economy, okay? That makes it liquid, right? There's always someone on the other side of your trade so you can get in and out easily, all right? Highly watched and heavily respected by institutions. Here's what that means for us, all right? Cleaner market structure. The ES respects zones, trend lines, and fair value gaps more consistently than most instruments. So when you're learning how to read price action, this is where you want to be. Balanced volatility. It moves enough to catch trades, but not so wild that beginners get wrecked on every candle, right? The NQ you may have heard of, that's the NASDAQ. That one is way more volatile than the ES, okay? It does move faster. I do not suggest learning on the NQ. And our last reason right now is it is an institutional magnet, okay? Because big money trades ES, it obeys logic and manipulation patterns that you can learn to read. And that is priceless for new traders. So if you're serious about learning the game, you don't want to start on the loudest, most chaotic chart, okay? Start on the ones that the pros use to test their strategy. This is your MES chart. Welcome to the video game, okay? Say hello to your future. This is where the magic happens. I hope that you are as excited as I am that you have gotten this far. And if you don't understand everything, that's okay. Just walk with me here. So now we have our chart open to the MES, and let's just go over the chart components really quickly. You may have this open right now. This is your watch list, where if you were, let's say, observing gold as well as NASDAQ or the QQQ, it would have a list here for you, just easier to access, right? But I want you to pay attention to things that are important right now, just the basics. We don't really need anything over here. Let's go here. This is your display. One day you may want to see the 15-minute and the 30-minute, or you might want to look at the MES and the NASDAQ and the gold, right? So you may want 3 displays, right? But for right now, we're okay with 1. Here is undo. This is your bar replay. In the paid subscriptions, you are actually able to replay the chart. So let's say you can't be in front of the charts in the mornings, right? You could come home and replay it anytime you want. So that's one of the benefits of having a paid subscription. And here are the alerts. Now, I absolutely teach using alerts, but right now we don't need it, okay? We use alerts because the game is, quite frankly, set up to make you fail. And the longer you stay looking at price go up and down, the more it triggers you. So we prefer to set and forget. But again, don't worry about that right now. You actually need to see what's happening. Don't need these indicator templates. This is your indicators and your favorites. There's be nothing here for you right now, but if you go into your indicators, and let's go ahead and do that right now. We're going to type in VWAP, VWAP, and you are going to click on this first one. Make sure that you star it. So you will have that on your chart. There we go. You can see that here. And then we are also going to add volume. There it is. Okay. Make sure that is starred. Star it so that it shows up on your chart. All right. Go ahead and X out of that. That's all you need for now. Okay. So we don't really use a bunch of indicators around here because honestly, most of them are just noise and they all lag, but the VWAP stays. Why? Because it's one of the few that actually reflects real-time volume and price agreement, okay? It shows where institutions consider fair value, all right? Go into our settings for VWAP, right? Just run your mouse over it and then go to this gear, okay? I want you to remove the upper band, the lower band, and the bands fill, okay? Now, here is where you can style the actual VWAP line. I like to make my VWAP purple, and I also like to thicken it, right? So I can see it a little bit better, see? See that? Thinner, thicker, okay? If I wanted it pink, I could do that. I want you to know that this is your canvas. Whatever makes you comfortable to snatch money out of the market, that's what you do. I prefer a purple VWAP. That's just a personal preference, okay? And now we have the VWAP. So why do I want you to have VWAP on your chart? Well, it's kind of a bit of a cheat code, all right? I'm laughing because I need to tell you this. All right, this really aggravated me when I first started trading. You know the wheel on your mouse? You use that to move your chart into the past, all right? It moves it into the past so that you can go back in time, all right, when you do it on the chart. And then also here is for price, all right? So I want you to play with all of that. Now, grab a chart where we can see best. There we go. So basically, the kind of cheat code with the VWAP is if the candles are price, right? If price is below the VWAP, then we are looking to go short. We're looking to go sell. That is the red candles, right? And if it's above, then we're looking to buy, right? Which is the green candles or go long. So it's a bit of a cheat code for you. You must understand that trading is completely about probability. No trader wins every trade. It's just not possible. You don't walk into a casino expecting to win every bet. Now, the VWAP is a line of probability power, all right? So for you, especially in the beginning, okay, above the VWAP, we're looking for green, okay, to buy, and below, you're looking for sells. The other thing we added to our chart is the volume. Now, volume is absolutely necessary. Okay, I want you to know something, okay? Let me clue you into something that most people do not know, okay? Many traders do not know this. Most indicators were literally built by institutions for themselves back in the day. The banks, the institutions, the market makers, and they had the game rigged. They're called smart money. So they built these indicators for themselves, and then they handed it to the public, which is us, right? And we are considered retail or dumb money. That does not feel good saying that, but you'll understand why later. Now, they handed these indicators to the retail traders years later, after they already had the edge. These tools were never meant to make retail rich. They lag, meaning they're not in current time, and they distract you with noise. And that's not trading. If you have a whole bunch of indicators on your chart, that's just gambling with crayons, right? They lag for the most part. Remember, you are always being set up to fail, okay? This is the game of probability. I actually consider trading akin to a casino. In fact, I call it the IBC, the Institutional Banking Casino. And their job is to play on your emotion, your greed, your fear, your emotions, right? In order to take price where they want it to go. They already know where the price is going. Anyway, by the way, does that sound familiar? Well, we'll talk about that on the other channel. All links will be down below. Your job, okay, as the baby superhero on a mission for financial freedom, okay, the Empress or Emperor, is to protect your capital at all costs. And that's why I teach to trade like the Empress and Emperor, okay? We don't get swept up in traps and tricks that gambling newbies do. We actually comprehend what's happening, and we do not chase. We attract. Let me tell you a little bit more about why we keep volume on the chart. Volume is your best friend. Volume is the absolute truth, all right? It is the footprint of money. Now, price can lie, especially with fake outs and manipulation, but volume shows you where the big players actually stepped in, right? So what we want to do every single time is actually ride the wave of the whales, all right? The smart money, all right? The banks. And when we combine price action, and we'll get into that in a minute, with volume, we see the story unfold in real time. There's a story here. We'll do another video on the story, so make sure that you are subscribed, and this will be a part of a playlist. Volume and momentum are the reason why so many traders trade New York session, which is from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. depending on how the market moves that day. We do not trade the first 5 to 10 minutes just because everything is just too chaotic. But during that time, Wall Street is in the building. Big banks, the whales, are in the building, and we are going to ride the wave, jump on the back of the whale, the big banks, to financial freedom. Let's move on to our candles. Here are the regular candles. You, as a beginner, should be trading with regular candles, and we actually will go in, and let me just show you that now. You can change the colors of your candles. I'm keeping it red and green for teaching purposes, but normally I have my green. This is your buying candles, and this is your selling candles. Remember, buying is going long, right? It's going up, and then selling is going short. It's going down. All right. Now, I normally change this to like a teal color, right? And then I use purple for my red team, what would be a red team. Okay, remember, this really just is a game between the green team, the buying team, and the selling team. All right, so this is where you would change all that. Let me just show you how you can see it so that while you are changing it, you can actually see what's happening. Okay, see here, when I change this, change it to purple. See that? It changed to purple. Change it to pink. It changed pink. We're going to keep that as green for now. And on the red side, we're actually just going to change that to red for teaching purposes. And you can also change the bodies, right? Let me just move this up. You can also change the actual body color, okay, which is the inside, and you can change the borders. We're not going to worry about that right now. But do remember, this chart is your canvas. So We have it to green. We're just learning. Next, we have time frames. Time frames are everything, okay? When I teach trading, I don't just throw people into the charts. I teach time frame comprehension because each time frame is like adjusting the zoom on a microscope. You're still looking at the same organism, right? AKA the same price, but the level of detail changes. So I want you to think of this as Google Maps. Let's say the daily, right? If you click that D, each candle is actually one day because we're in the daily chart. So this is like, let's say, a map of America. And then when you zoom in, right? Now we go to the 4-hour chart and each candle is 4 hours. So what does that mean? Well, it means that 6 times 4 is 24. So there are 6 candles in one of those daily charts that we just had. Does that make sense? Drop down in the comments and let me know if a little bit of this makes sense. And remember, you're going to come back to this video. I'll be right here waiting for you. I expect you to come back until it makes sense. Okay. So again, it's like a microscope. It's the same exact price, but now you're just going deeper, right? So in this 4-hour, what do you think is happening in the 1 hour, right? It's 4 candles in the 1 hour that were in that 4 hour. Okay, don't overthink this, all right? And so on and so forth. So, for example, right, just to kind of bring it home, if the daily is like a map of America, then the 4-hour could be, let's say, New York. Zoom in a little bit. The 1 hour could be Brooklyn, right? Zoom in a little bit more. And maybe the 30 minutes is a street in Brooklyn. So you see, you're just zooming in. That's all. And you can really, really use this to your advantage. This is the way that I teach trading. Later on down the line, if your trades aren't making sense, you might just be zoomed in too far or too wide. Okay, I really want you to play with this, right? I want you to go in and understand that in this candle, there are 6 of these 4 hours, right? There are actually, that means that there are 24 of these 1 hours and then 48 of these 30-minute. You're just going to be able to see what's in this candle as you zoom in. All right. Drop down in the comments and let me know if you're with me so far. If you're not, it is completely okay. So on the other side, we have our tool panel. This is your crosshairs. You don't need that right now. This is your trend line. You click that, you'll see a bunch of different lines, basically, right? The one that I want you to star is the trend line for now. You can come back, of course, and if you want to use any of these down the line, then of course you can. What you'll notice is that when you click out of that, the line will show up in your favorites toolbox. Next, we have the Fibonacci retracement. Now, you don't need that right now. We'll do a separate video on that. You don't have to trade with the fibs, but again, we'll talk about that another time. In case you draw anything and you need to erase it, you just click on that thing again, and then your settings will pop up for it. If you want to go into the settings and change anything, style, the coordinates, the visibility, you can do that. All right. You don't need that right now. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to hit the trash can and remove it. Next, we have the long position and the short position. You can go ahead and star those. Those just basically give you forecasts of your trades. Good to have. You won't really need it today. Here we have the geometric shapes. I want you to go ahead and star the rectangle and you'll see that right down here. Okay. When you star it, ooh, it's in your toolkit. All right. So this way you don't have to come into this panel for anything. Everything that you prefer will be right here. Your preferences are here. And again, right, I drew something I didn't want to. Go ahead and delete it. You also can use text. So if I wanted to, I could type anything that I want. Anything. Okay. You can literally type anything. And then after that, we have the smiley faces. I told you this is your canvas. You literally can place any one of these on the chart. I clicked it and now I can put it anywhere by clicking again. Bam. Remember, this is your canvas. And I want you to play with these things. So just come in and play. I want you to get comfortable. This is your video game now. Now we're going to go ahead and just delete that. Clicked on it, delete, click on it and delete. I can hear someone saying, no, leave the smiley pretty face. I felt it. All right. So let's get down to business. You really don't need the measuring tool or the zoom in, I guess, but you have your time frames. All right. I don't want to confuse you. Not important right now. If you ever want to hide your drawings, then you can do that. Now let's talk a little price action. I want you to think of price action like a tug of war between two teams, okay? Team buyers versus team sellers. That's all the chart really is, okay? One side is trying to make the price go up, and the other side is trying to make the price go down. Now, what is happening with this tug of war between two teams? When buyers are stronger, right, then price goes up. And when sellers are stronger, price goes down. That's literally it. And sometimes they're dead even, right? And price just chops. You never want to get stuck in this, all right? This is where you will lose your money, all right? We call that choppiness, right? It will cut you up. As a trader, you need to know when to trade and when to walk away. All right. Now, this battle is not random. Every candle is actually a clue. All right. It tells you who's winning. The green team is winning on this candle, right? It tells you who's losing. The red team is winning and the green team is losing, right? Why? The candle's red. It's going down. Okay. And when you learn to read it, you don't need 10 indicators screaming at you. You just need to know who is holding the rope. Red team, green team, right? Buyer's team, right? Buyer's team, selling team, right? Again, if this is not feeling as comfortable, as fluid, remember, this is literally just like a video game where everything, when you first start playing, everything seems difficult. It's new, right? It seems complex. But then what happens, right? By next Saturday, you're not watching cartoons anymore. You are playing the video game like you always played the video game, okay? Grant yourself grace. Team buyers, team sellers here. So I want to place a trade, okay? I want to bet that it's going to go, to be safe, let's say to this, literally, I want you to eyeball it, okay? You don't need to be a professional analyst right now. I just want you to eyeball it. Your VWAP is there to remind you, okay? You should only be taking buys. How to place your trade using paper trades, right? Practice. This is a video game. I want you to have fun on this chart, okay? I want you to make this chart your home for freedom, okay? This is how we do it. We're going to click this bottom arrow going up, okay, to open the panel. And right here, boom, paper trading, all right? Is when you click that, right, you will be brought to your paper trading, okay? And then what you do when you're ready to place your trade is you hit trade, okay? I'm going to close this here by collapsing the panel. So let's just say I want to jump in at this price. Remember, the price is here. This is your order panel. So when you want to buy, which is what we're doing, right? We're saying that this is where price is, that it's going to go up here. So what are we going to do? We're going to put the price that we want to place the bet at, right? Where are we starting from? Well, I want to buy it when it gets to 67.47. I'm only going to use one contract. Remember, each contract is $5. I'm going to click take profit, which means where you want to get out here, right, is 67. I like that, 6777, right? So we're going to take profit at, you can use this or just type it in, 67.77. Going to use whole numbers for now. And it's showing you here what your reward is. And here, this is what your risk is, right? It's giving you how much money that you would make from this trade, okay? That's using one contract. So what does that mean? That means later on, not now, okay? Later on, when you are more comfortable on the charts, later on, you can use two contracts and double your money. That's only if you are sure. We are saying that what? We're taking this bet here and we think we're going up there, right? This is your stop loss, okay? We don't trade without our stop loss. Your stop loss is going to protect your capital. Why? It means that you think that the price is going up. If at any point, look at this, If at any point price goes back down, get me out of this trade. I'm going to put my stop loss at 67.40. 67.40 is going to be my stop loss. I'm going to go ahead and buy. And I am now in a trade. So now you know how to place your first trade. Remember, it's the little arrow here. You click it, you hit trade, your panel comes up. Okay? If I wanted to add another one, this is where I would add another one. Okay? If I wanted to just say, which I don't want you to do right now, if I wanted to say, you know what, I'll take it at whatever price is at right now, then you would use the market. Stop. We'll go over that. Go over all of this in another trade. But you now have the basics. When you click your order panel, you'll be able to see how much money you are making. Okay? So far, we're up 11.25. And this is what I was saying about watching the trade. Right now, it's only 7.50. It might even go negative, but that's why you have a stop loss to protect you. This is literally just a game of tug of war. And your job is to protect your capital. Always wear your helmet. That is your stop loss. And listen to your feelings while you play. I want you to remember that stop losses are not weakness, right? They're strategy, okay? I don't want you gambling, okay? That's how pros control the risk instead of letting risk control them. You gotta pay to play. My job is to help. That is my purpose. I'm operating in my purpose, and I want you to be able to do the same thing, okay? So look at that, right? If price goes your way, you'll wake up to $152.50, right? If it's during the day, you obviously would probably get there sooner. If it doesn't and you want to cut the trade, you can cut the trade any way you want, right? You can cut it. You can cut it. I know some of you are like, no, we were making money. It's fine. There will be days when you'll decide, and this is why I say listen to yourself. Something may tell you, jump out of the trade, right? Listen to yourself. Which reminds me, now you know how to place a trade. And I am so proud of you for making it this far. I want you to celebrate yourself, okay? I want you to come back, save this video, okay? In the next video, we'll get into charting our zones, support and resistance, supply and demand, whatever you want to call it. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth. But there is something else I want to talk to you about. This is another thing that people won't tell you, all right? This is one thing that experienced traders know, all right? Since you're learning, here is some sisterly advice, and this part is crucial, all right? Come close.
When you first start learning to trade, okay, it's like manifesting, okay? It's like planting seeds in a secret garden. You don't run around showing everyone your garden before the plants grow, okay? People will walk all over it and crush your little seedlings and your feelings, okay? Remember I told you, this is about psychology. You gotta watch your emotions, okay? So, after your first win, and I am manifesting that for you, okay? After your first win, stay quiet, especially then, okay? I wouldn't even want you to tell anybody that you're learning to trade. Why? Well, because that first win feels like fireworks and your brain wants to brag. But here's the trap. The market doesn't care. And if people know you're trading, they'll start asking questions that you're not ready to answer. Trust me, you are not ready. Okay? And worse, they'll project their fear and doubt on you, right? They're going to say it's risky, that you're gambling, that you're crazy. Okay? And if you're not grounded yet, their fear will infect your peace. Okay? Not only that, but you do not want people constantly over your shoulder asking you how much you won, how much you won, how much you won, how much you won. You don't want that, okay? Because you're not going to win every day. You're going to lose. Keep it to yourself. Protect your energy. Build in silence, okay? I want you to celebrate privately and let your results speak later, right? Once you've built something real, okay? Come here, okay? This is your home now, your trading home, okay? This is your sister's house, and it's always open to you, all right? Come here to the comments and let us celebrate you, okay? I'll put up some community posts, and I'll try and shout you out if you want, all right? Just put the click-claim, the champagne glasses, and I want to hear about your wins, but I also want to hear about your losses because you learned a valuable lesson, hopefully, and hopefully you're writing that down. We'll get to that in a minute, okay? That's just the cost of playing the market video game. You're going to lose. We call it market tuition, and everyone pays it. I just want to help you mitigate your losses and see your losses as extremely valuable, and I'll even argue maybe even more important than the wins, right? If it burns good enough, you'll stop the behaviors that got you there. You're going to have to pull the trigger. But remember, if you're dealing with greed or impatience, right? Remember, we don't chase. we attract, okay? Your psychology is everything, and I want you to write everything down. I know some of y'all, especially my live traders over at Carbon Futures on TikTok, have been asking about the trading journal. It's on the way. It should be up on Amazon in just a few days. But let me be clear, as you guys know, this isn't just some basic journal. You know I'm a certified quantum healer, and I work with traders, right? So this journal goes deeper. It's got space for your levels, your entries, your setup, but also your mindset, your emotions, your intuition, okay? It helps you decode your own technology. Because again, we gotta be real. Trading is 75% psychology, all right? There are days when you shouldn't be trading, right? You wanna log all of that. You wanna see where your magic is, all right? You're gonna try different setups as you learn. Okay, when you record these things, then you can go back and decode. There are also a few extras, a pre-trade meditation, some inspiration pages. I mean, such a powerful journal, okay? So if you're serious about this game, it's worth every penny. But until it's live, I'm always going to give you the free out. Until it's live, just grab a notebook, okay? Start tracking your trades, your setups, and how you felt when you took them, okay? I'll drop that link as soon as it's ready. It's absolutely worth it if you're serious about trading, right? I told you, it has a candle sheet, and we call it candle gossip, all right? And don't forget that this video will be part of a playlist. So make sure you watch this video as many times as you need it. Create the playlist. Call it the baby superhero on a Call it the baby superhero on a mission to financial freedom, right? Call it mission the bag. Call it mission freedom. Call it whatever you want. Just make sure that you watch this video until you understand it, okay? Hopefully I made it simple enough, all right? Watch it as many times as you need. I'll always be right here. Now, I'll be adding more videos in the playlist as time goes on. Bear with me because this takes a lot of energy and overcoming a little bit of anxiety, I admit, right? I'm really operating in purpose right now, okay? So, if you want to support the channel, all the links will be below. I am so grateful for every like, share, comment, and I think YouTube has a new feature called the Hype. Please use it if you can. Remember, life is all about energy, and I believe that if you help me reach more people so that they can break the chains, you will be blessed and kind, and I am grateful. So, you made it! I am so proud of you! You have no idea what you have done. Okay, what I see it, and my cheeks hurt right now, okay? We're just empresses and emperors, little baby superheroes on a mission to financial freedom so that we can live in our purpose, just like it's supposed to be, all right? Now, you make sure you watch the next video. It's extremely important to chart your zones, and it's going to have a bit of strategy, all right? Now, go celebrate quietly. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I love you, but you know that already.
Traders! Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, it doesn't matter. This is your daily reminder that through your extremely hard work and dedication, you have been anointed with a skill that allows you to pull money out of the market any day. So take your money and go. Take your money and go. I don't think you hear me. Take your money and go. Take your money and go.
Did you pray today? Go ahead and. Did you meditate? Go ahead and. Did you give? Oh, go ahead and. Hey, I say, did you pray today? Go ahead and. Did you meditate? Go ahead and. Now, if you gave today, go ahead and.
I'm so proud of you. You stuck to your rules. You don't overstay your time. You're so damn cool. Said I'm so proud of you. You stuck to the plan. And soon you will buy some jewels and let's get some land.
But first, you gotta.
Take your money and go. Yeah. Take your money and go. I don't think you heard me. Yeah. Take your money and go. Take your money and go.
The market is closed. Go be kind to someone.